Now I am talking about ART, Assisted Reproductive Technologies. ART uses a special method to help infertile couples to achieve pregnancy by artificial or partially artificial means. Although various definitions have been used, ART includes all infertility treatments in which both eggs and sperm are manipulated. Success rate, success rate vary and depend on many factors. ART can be expensive and time consuming, but ART has made it possible for many couples to have children there that otherwise would not have been conceived. Various techniques of ART are: number 1, in vitro fertilization IVF. Number 2, gamete intrafallopian transfer GIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer ZIFT, intracytoplasmic sperm injection ICSI, intrauterine insemination IUI. So I am repeating: assisted reproductive technology. The outlook for a couple with infertility problem is now greatly improved compared with 5 decades back. About 60% of couples attending fertility clinics are found to have problems that can be diagnosed, and about 30% of these are able to produce a baby after treatment. Medical research is far from the end of its investigation into treatment of infertility, and there are still great advantages to be made. Now I am talking about artificial insemination. When an egg is fertilized inside the woman's body by semen which has not been introduced into the vagina at intercourse, the process is known as artificial insemination AI. In this technique, the semen is artificially introduced with a syringe either into the vagina or into the uterus. IUI, intrauterine insemination of the female. In IUI means intrauterine insemination is a procedure designed to place sperm directly into a woman's uterus through artificial means. The sperm is prepared for this procedure in the laboratory and then deposited inside the endometrial cavity using a small catheter passed through the endocervical canal. IUI result is in a significant increase in the amount of sperm that reach the uterus because the procedure bypasses the vagina and the cervix. It can be helpful in women with thick cervical mucus and also in men who have lower sperm count. IUI is recommended for patients who do not produce cervical mucus around the time of natural ovulation and in whom the partner's sperm production has decreased or the motility of sperm has been compromised, and who have unexplained infertility means normal infertile couple, and who have a history of mild to moderate endometriosis after laparoscopic treatment. Now I am talking about in vitro fertilization, that is IVF. When an egg is removed from a woman and fertilized by the husband's sperm outside her body, the process is known as medically as in vitro fertilization. This Latin term literally in glass describe a biological process made to occur in an artificial environment outside the living organism. Couple who can benefited most from in vitro fertilization are those where the woman is making egg normally, the man is making normal sperm, but the passage between the two is blocked most commonly by damage or removal of the fallopian tube. In vitro fertilization is a procedure became famous in 1978 with the birth of Louis Brown. The word first test tube baby IVF is now very commonly used when a woman's fallopian tubes are blocked or when a man has low sperm. In vitro fertilization, IVF fertilization outside the body is almost similar condition as that in the body, followed by embryo transfer ET. This technique, popularly known as test tube baby program, ova from the wife or donor female and sperm from the husband means donor male are collected and are induced to form zygote under stimulated condition in the laboratory. The zygote or early embryo with up to 8 blastomeres could then be transferred into the fallopian tube ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. Embryo with more than 8 blastomeres are transferred into the uterus IUT, intrauterine transfer, to complete its further development. Embryos formed by in vivo fertilization means fusion of gamete with the female also could be used for such transfer to assist those female who cannot conceive. IVF the procedure. IVF technique may differ depending on the clinic but usually involve following 5 steps. Number 1. Step 1. Suppressing the natural menstruation cycle. Women are given a drug generally in the form of a daily injection for about 2 weeks which suppress their natural menstruation cycle. Step 2. Superovulation. Fertility drug containing the fertility hormone FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, are administered to the women. FSH make the ovaries produce more egg than normal. Vaginal ultrasound scans can monitor the process in the ovaries. Step 3. Retrieving the egg. The egg are collected through a minor surgical procedure known as follicular aspiration. A very thin needle is inserted through the vagina and into an ovary. The needle, which is connected to a suction device, sucks the egg out. This process is repeated for each ovary. Step 4. Insemination and fertilization. The eggs that have been collected are placed together with the male sperm and kept in an environmentally controlled chamber. After a few hours, the sperm eventually enters the egg. However, sometimes the sperm is directly injected into the egg. This is known as intracytoplasmic sperm injection ICSI. The fertilized egg divide and become an embryo. At this point, some centers offer pre-implantation genetic diagnosis (PGD), which can screen an embryo for genetic disorders. Either one or two of the best embryos are selected for transfer. The woman is then given progesterone or SCG, chronic gonadotropin, to help the lining of womb receive the embryo. Step 5. Embryo transfer. Sometimes more than one embryo is placed in the uterus. It is important that the doctor and the couple wishing to have a child discuss how many embryos should be transferred. Generally speaking, doctors should not only transfer more than one embryo if there are no ideal embryo available. The transfer is done via a thin tube catheter which goes up the vagina into the womb, successfully transferring the embryo. When the embryo implant to the lining of uterus, healthy embryo growth begins. Who is IVF for? In vitro fertilization is ideal for women who have not been able to become pregnant through regular unprotected intercourse or after 12 cycle of artificial insemination. IVF should be considered as an opinion if you or your partner have been diagnosed with the unexplained infertility. Other techniques such as the use of fertility drugs or intrauterine insemination IUI have been unsuccessful. The women's fallopian tube are blocked. Risk of IVF. Some women may have reaction to the medication that are given during treatment. The side effects of the drug given during IVF include nausea, vomiting, Difficulty in breathing, irritability, hot flushes means excessive sweating and increased heartbeat, enlargement of the ovaries, difficulty in sleeping, abdominal pain. Now I am talking about GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer. It involves taking the egg and sperm from the human body and introducing them directly to the fallopian tube before fertilization has occurred. In this process, the first egg and sperm are collected in the syringe and then unfertilized egg and sperm are transferred to the fallopian tube. Fertilization occurs naturally in the fallopian tube. Gamete intrafallopian transfer GIFT. A variation of the IVF procedure is gametic intrafallopian transfer or GIFT. A woman must have at least one healthy fallopian tube for this technique to be tried. As in IVF, drugs are used to produce multiple eggs in the women's ovaries. The eggs are collected usually by laparoscopy just before ovulation is to occur. 2 or 3 eggs are mixed with the man's sperm. The egg and sperm are placed in the women's fallopian tube for fertilization to take place there. Some fertility centers use a combination of IVF and GIFT. Now I am talking about ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. It is similar to GIFT except that the process of fertilization is carried in the laboratory and then zygote or early embryo with up to 8 blastomeres is transferred in the fallopian tube where it grows normally and travels to the woman's uterus. This method is also called tubal embryo transfer. It combines IVF and GIFT. It involves the same retrieval of ova and semen and fertilization and growth in the laboratory up to the zygote stage, at which point the zygote are placed in the fallopian tube. Both GIFT and ZIFT seems to have higher success rate than IVF. Eggs are aspired from the ovary. Eggs are placed in the prepared semen sample. Fertilized embryo or zygote are transferred into the fallopian tube. Now I am talking about ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. In ICSI, an embryo is developed in the laboratory in which sperm is directly injected into the ovum. During ICSI, one sperm is injected directly into the egg cytoplasm using an apparatus that transforms imperfect hand movement into fine and precise movement of micro manipulation tools. This method is used in these cases. Number 1, abnormal semen analysis finding, that is low sperm concentration or high level of abnormal sperm with low motility. Next, fertilization using sperm surgically extracted from the testicles or the epididymis using MESA. Microsurgical epididymal sperm aspiration TESE, testicular sperm extraction techniques. Failure to spontaneously fertilize in the previous cycle even though semen analysis results are positive. Now I am talking about surrogacy. Women with no egg or unhealthy egg might also want to consider surrogacy. A surrogate is a woman who agrees to become pregnant using the man's sperm and her own egg. The child will be genetically related to the surrogate and the male partner. After birth, the surrogate will give up the baby for abortion by the parents. Surrogate motherhood. Sperm collected from the husband of an infertile woman can be introduced into the womb of another normal woman. If this surrogate mother becomes pregnant, she carries the baby in her womb until it is born. The baby is then handed over to the infertile woman and her husband. The baby has genes from the husband but not the wife. Surrogate motherhood is fraught with potential difficulties, particularly if the baby turns out to be abnormal or if the surrogate mother decides that she does not want to part with the child. Now I'm talking about womb leasing. When a woman can produce egg but is unable to carry a baby throughout pregnancy, an embryo produced from her egg and her husband's sperm can be introduced into the another healthy woman's womb. Unlike surrogate motherhood, the baby is in womb leasing is genetically the child of both the husband and wife and has no genes from the women who carried it during pregnancy. Now I am talking about embryo donation. If a woman is incapable of producing egg or an egg can be taken from a donor woman and fertilized in vitro with the sperm of the husband. The fertilized embryo is then introduced into the infertile wife's womb and she proceeds with the pregnancy as if it were her own baby. The child has genes from her husband but not from her. Although surrogate motherhood, womb leasing and embryo donation are now technically possible, there are difficult moral issues involved. The fact that a procedure is possible does not necessarily mean that it is advisable.